Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 21st. We are going to jump right in here. You have this acquisition card and this ostentation card. Pretty good. The acquisition card is like my fancy couple card. I'll actually show you that card in just a second here. And the ostentation card is about being able to tell the difference between something that's like real and fake. And like I said, I'll show you both of those cards in a second. But it could represent you attracting like a real connection at this time. So again, I'm sure the Mercury retrograde squad is going to come out to remind me that it's Mercury retrograde. Yes, I understand that it's Mercury retrograde, but again, for the Mercury retrograde squad, if you really actually followed the rules of astrology, you wouldn't even breathe air. So that is, if you're going to follow the Mercury retrograde rules, you better stop breathing and follow all the other rules as well, right? But for the rest of you that aren't afraid of a little risk, that aren't afraid of getting a little spicy in life, right? Then I would say it's perfectly fine to date during a retrograde. Here you go. You have the Lovers right here. Like I always say, the universe isn't sitting there saying, oh, they're dating the love of their life during a Mercury retrograde. I have to ruin this now because they're stupid and they didn't follow the, astrology rules. That's not going to happen. So, again, if something is meant to be, it's meant to be. And plain and simple, that's it. And that goes for anything else that you want to start during a retrograde. I think what people need to realize is retrograde doesn't mean don't. It means that, yes, maybe this will be different after, but that could be a good thing, right? You could start something during a retrograde and it changes for the better after, right? So again, you have this acquisition and this ostentation card. Again, the other thing about retrogrades is we can actually become very clear during retrogrades. We can gain a lot of clarity on the past. Right? So if you are perfectly clear on what has happened in your past as far as love is concerned, then don't you think your vision is probably better as far as what you want is concerned? Probably. So, it would be, you probably have very clear vision at this time on what you want. So I would go for it. As always, you have this fire sign. Like, I'm pretty sure every single reading you have like a fire sign basically that shows up. So if you want love, it could be a fire sign or an earth sign. Both of these cards are Taurus. You also have the Knight of Pentacles here, which could be an earth sign. So, whatever you're looking for, it doesn't matter. Just find a good person, right? In the area of your current general energies, you have the Six of Wands, the Magician, and the Page of Wands. Six of Wands is a card of attention. You have the best reading for sure this week so far. The other two water signs a little bit more challenging. I will give a little bit of a warning that I'm a little bit, like, this week is a little sketchy as far as like global stuff is concerned. So, if things kick off globally or if there's some sort of weird event this week, I just wouldn't be surprised, right? But, so it's like a good week. We have this new moon that's positive in Leo on the 24th, but I don't know. There's like other weird stuff going on. So I would just keep your head on straight is what I would say. And it also, my intuition is kind of just like pushing me in that direction as well. But what I would say is, I would focus on the positive attention that you could be getting at this time. I also do feel like there could be a little victory. Again, this new moons are good for starting new things. But, the other thing that I'm getting here is that, if you are kind of like launching something or working on something that you've already been working on, I feel there could be some recognition or positive attention that comes in for you with that card. So I feel pretty good about that. You have the Magician, and so I feel like you are attracting things very quickly. That's one thing I will say about this week as well that kind of is maybe surprising me, is a lot of people have had these messages of being able to attract things very quickly. So I would definitely be careful, and I would focus more on the positive this week and make sure that you're focusing on attracting things more quick, the things that you want in your life. The Magician, he is pointing down to this Three of Pentacles. So this could say that for you to attract things, that maybe you need to do things to attract with a group of people as well. Now, that doesn't mean you have to like work together with a group of people. What that means is, sometimes I believe there are certain people in our lives that we probably do attract more things with, if that makes sense. Like maybe they're just a more positive person. So if we're around that person, then maybe we just naturally attract more, right? And so I would make sure, if you don't already know who those people are in your life, that you figure it out. Or if you don't have a person like that or people, and it doesn't have, I'm not talking about love here. This could be a new friend, a mentor, a person you look up to. It could be anything, right? I would be finding a person like that. The other thing I think this is saying is that you need to put your work on display. This card here, Six of Wands, is about, an achievement or receiving recognition for the work that you've done. The Three of Pentacles, he is putting his work on display on the Three of Pentacles. So I think it's time for you to kind of like show off your work here, Scorpio. You have the Page of Wands. Yeah, Page of Wands is about enthusiasm, optimism, and I think the more optimistic and happy you can be this week, the better. I also feel like the more playful you can be this week, the better for you, Scorpio. It'll probably help you, attract better things, just in general. Sometimes I think, just like, and also, by the way, we have Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter in Cancer is your inner child. So, I think for water signs, the more playful that they can be with life and just having fun and not being so serious, the better, right? Here you go. With the Six of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. I love 2 6s. To me, 2 6s says that you are in alignment with what you want. To me, it's basically like confirmation for your path. So I feel for a lot of you, this is just saying that you're going in the right direction. With the Magician, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, again, this could be why, even though it's a Mercury retrograde, even though there's craziness probably going on in the world this week, which could definitely happen, I feel, things could still be going very well for you, and because of your state. The Nine of Pentacles is like a good energetic state to achieve. She is curating her environment. She is putting herself in the best environment possible so that she can attract heaven on earth. I always say that Nine of Pentacles is heaven on earth. It doesn't mean that she has heaven on earth. It just means that she is making sure the things around her reflect the idea of heaven on earth. It's like, it might sound lame, but she would have vision boards, right, of things that she doesn't have that remind her of good feelings. So that all around her, and she would surround herself with that, right? Like, I think it would be a very good time for you to do whatever you can to make sure that you are curating your environment, like even down to, what you watch on TV, what you listen to, all that stuff. Making sure that you're filling your head with positivity will probably help you the most, Scorpio, this week with that card. With the Page of Wands, you have the Temperance card. Temperance is like sometimes I feel, really it's a card of alchemy, right? And really the Justice card is the card of cause and effect. But sometimes I feel that Temperance can also be cause and effect because he is trying to practice alchemy. He's trying to turn water into wine. And so he might be looking for like an effect. He might be looking for a result before he starts his journey. But also sometimes I also feel that he just needs to get off on this path and go claim his crown. And so I kind of feel that for you, Scorpio, where it's like there's nothing more for you to do other than to go claim your crown in some area of your life. And, even if things aren't perfect, right? So I think it's kind of saying, you have the 2 6s, which really say you're on the right path. I would just go for it. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this 2 of the Seed card and this Milk and Honey card. So yes, the 2 of the Seed card says it's time. It's time to go. It's time to make your move. The Milk and Honey card is kind of like a card that is very good. It reminds me of the Ten of Cups a little bit because Ten of Cups is like bathing in the energy of your dream life, which that Milk and Honey card, that elephant, is bathing in milk and honey, the good stuff. But the Milk and Honey card says, like, don't get high on your own supply. Same thing with the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is a very good card, but I think something that people forget about the Ten of Cups is that those cups exist above their heads. They're kind of just getting high on the illusion, maybe, or the vision of what they want. But, their next step, that family that's on the Ten of Cups, is to do something to bring that dream down to earth, right? So they have to take a step. They can't, sometimes I think we have a fantasy and we feel it too much, if that makes sense, where it's like, I'm a big believer in visualization and feeling things before they happen. But at the same time, sometimes if you do that too much, then you never get started, right? Because you almost feel it too much. And so I get that feeling for you here, Scorpio. Why? Because of this card right here, the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles says you have to plant seeds in that field. You can't keep imagining something. There comes a time where you actually have to take a step, right? And I feel the Knight of Pentacles, I feel pretty good about it. Normally, I don't really like the Knight of Pentacles, but, I actually feel okay about him in your reading because I do think you are probably going to take a step, or you are going to do something to take a step. And that's what I would do with this card. I would take some sort of step towards whatever it is that you're trying to create, or whatever it is you're trying to manifest, or whatever you're dreaming about. And I think that little bit of progress will make all the difference in the world. You have the Queen of Wands, which I can't get off the table because this is a new deck and they stick. So you have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. She really has to go towards the sun with this sunflower here. I do feel like you are also attracting love. You end with the King of Wands, which I'll show you in a minute. And King and Queen of Wands are divine counterparts. So if you're looking for love, this could say that you're very attractive at this time, or you're really standing out to people at this time. I really kind of feel like it's your whole vibe, that's standing out. And yeah, I don't know, it's good. I don't think there's anything really to say about it. I think you're just giving off a good vibe right now, Scorpio. And this could be good for more than just love. Like if you're trying to get a good job, like a good job, for example, you could be, it might be a good week for you to put out a couple extra applications because, the energy exists. And I always say tarot can't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything. So you have to put the work in. That's why I bring these things up, because it's like saying you're more attractive. If you want a job, put out more applications, right? Or do something. There you go. You have the Three of Pentacles, being able to stand out for your work. He's putting his work on display. I would definitely say for any of you that are creative or that work on your own projects, I think it would be a great time for you to share with the Three of Pentacles. It could be a lot of positive attention that comes in because of it. Could also be a result. He's getting recognition from these people for the good job that he's done. The Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. He's just done a good job. And so a lot of you, I feel, could be also getting some, praise at work, or you could be getting some positive results at work for doing a good job, which also would be great. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. What if it doesn't work? What if things don't go according to plan? What if I fail? All that. I think the Nine of Swords is saying you need to chop the head off the what ifs. This is your inner voice. It's very clear. It popped into my head very clearly. I feel like very specifically that the Nine of Swords in this reading is the what ifs. And I feel like though you need to chop the head off that snake. The what if snake, right? It's not even worth focusing on because, I would just get rid of it. Plain and simple. Now with the Queen of Wands, you have the Star. Yeah, the Star is amazing. It's a card of hope, faith, and renewal. I kind of feel like something is giving you hope this week, really. You have the Ace of Pentacles right in here. Next to the Queen of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles can be like an opportunity that has a lot of potential. So, if you've been waiting for an opportunity, this could be a great opportunity. The Star is also, sometimes I think we have to dive in. And definitely with the Temperance card, right? We go Temperance, Star, Two of Pentacles, which basically says get busy. But with the Star, she's kind of just dipping her toes in the water when she should be diving in head first. So, if there's something you're wanting to start or create, I would just dive in head first because you will be successful. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, I think this could be a little bit of a risk. If you're showing something off at work, or if you're doing a presentation, I don't know, I have something about, this might only be for one of you, but if you're giving a presentation at work, you might be a little worried about it. But I think things will go better than you think. So, take the risk with the Five of Swords. I also do feel it is time, I say this a lot to water signs, but I think it's critically important for water signs to understand this right now, that you have to speak up right now. It is time for water signs to be loud, So it's sometimes Five of Swords, Three of Pentacles, it's maybe there are things you want to speak up about at work. Do it. It's time for you to be loud. It's time for you to be the one to speak up. It's time for you to be the one to share your ideas and things like that, right? And, I think the more you do that, the more confidence you're going to build, which is exactly what water signs should be doing at this time. And, it'll just lead to more success and more good things. So there you go. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card. It says, you do not have to go it alone. It says, reach out for support in this time. You have this, there's hope ahead. It says, have the courage and take heart, for there is hope. There you go. We said it on the Star card that, it is a time of hope, faith, and renewal. So there you go. Also, with this card about asking for help, you have the Three of Pentacles, which is a great card for, working together with other people. You have the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Lovers. I definitely feel it's a very busy week for you, Scorpio, or it is going to be a busy week. Again, you have the best reading out of all the water signs, so, it could be a good week for you this week in general, and that could be why you're busy. Obviously, when things are going well in life, I think we do more work because things are going well. And so that's kind of the feeling I get off the Two of Pentacles, is that, maybe things aren't perfect, but, things are probably going better than they have been, maybe. And it's like making you feel more motivated, to me as a reader. And, I feel that is probably leading to a lot of success. So I feel pretty good about this Two of Pentacles for sure. The other thing, I'm getting something about cycles here. It's like up, down. It's like one is going up, one is going down. I know that sounds stupid, but it's like I do feel like you're releasing worry or something. You're just like noticing cycles in your life. Like sometimes things go up, sometimes things go down, and you're not worrying about things. I think this is making your life smoother or something. I don't know. This is a good thing. I think you're making things smoother in your life by realizing that things happen in cycles, right? You have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, it is safe to take any opportunity that you're getting at this time. Again, yes, it's a Mercury retrograde, but what I would say is I think that it would be perfectly safe for you to accept opportunities that come your way, especially if it's an opportunity that has potential. And I always tell the story that like years ago, when I was not making any money at all in my life, I like desperately needed money for my car. And, one thing that is really annoying is I made almost to the cent exactly the amount of money I needed. But it was during a Mercury retrograde, and I came up with this business idea, and I made like to the cent practically exactly what I needed, right? But if I followed the retrograde rules and I didn't start that business, I wouldn't have made anything. I probably would have lost my car, or I wouldn't have had a car for a long time, right? So again, yeah, did that business idea last after the retrograde? No, but it served a purpose, right? So that's kind of popping into my head here with the Ace of Pentacles, is that there could be an opportunity, whether it lasts or not, doesn't matter. It might serve a purpose right now. That could be very important for you, Scorpio, for whatever reason. So don't be afraid of accepting opportunities that just have potential. Next, you have the Lovers. Definitely could be a love offer, for sure. Again, this looks like something that's going to last. So I wouldn't even worry about the whole retrograde thing in the first place. This could be a person you've already been talking to as well. So, it's perfectly fine to be with a person that you've already kind of like been talking to since before a retrograde. But, this definitely could be a love connection. You have the Four of Wands at the end, which is marriage. So if you're hoping to get married, definitely could be a strong connection. For others, the Ace of Pentacles can be an opportunity that takes you on a new path. The Lovers can be about letting go of the old path and, kind of like starting a new journey. It can say that you are at a crossroads in your life and you have an option between two directions. And usually the new direction is the correct direction with the Lovers. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Swords, which is like a victory or big success coming in for you. So there could be like a big win coming in for you this week. You have the two sixes. Six of Wands is a win. The Star can be a win. There really could be a big victory coming in for you, for those of you that have been working towards one. Here you go. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Six of Wands. Again, if there is an opportunity coming in for you, I would take it, because I feel that it could lead to a victory or a big success. The thing about the Six of Wands is that he's riding this white horse. White horses in the tarot represent assistance, and they kind of represent assistance from the universe. So a lot of you, really, this opportunity could be something that's lifting you up this week, that is like assistance from the universe. And you have this other card that says ask for help, or it said reach out for support in this time. The horse is support, right? So there's like a lot of support. With the Lovers, you have the King of Cups. Yeah, it could be a water sign or fire sign or earth sign. You basically have everything here. So if you're looking for love, could just be, basically any sign. I just listed all 12. And the King of Cups, though, is usually a person who's very stable emotionally. So you could be attracting a very like emotionally stable person, very secure person. We're talking about on the positive side of things with the King of Cups. So there you go. Next, in the good stuff, you have this Dream Catcher card. It says, pay attention to the signs, messages, and guidance that come to you at night. Yeah, during Mercury retrograde, dreams can be on fire, so definitely trust your dreams. You have this Unfolding Beauty. It says, everything is unfolding as it should. Surrender and live in the unexpected. I think that's the best way to live right now. We are in a very unexpected time. Uranus and Gemini is bonkers, crazy, right? So I've been warning people about this for years. I've been saying until 2033, we are in a time of chaos. I've literally been saying this for the past like 3-4 years. And I don't say this to scare people. I say that to prepare people. But also, it's a good thing. If you are prepared for it, you can take advantage of it and find a lot of success. But, what I would say here is the best thing to do is to surrender and to not try to control things. I think the harder, we'll see a lot of people who are trying to like really just like control, and those people are going to lose big time. I think the people who end up the most successful are people who surrender and who just say, like, I will get this, whatever you're working on, insert whatever you're working on or whatever you're trying to accomplish, I will get this to work in any way possible, right? There are infinite possibilities at this time. And so the people who live like that are going to be very successful. And, obviously I hope that you're one of those people. You have the Four of Wands, King of Wands, Five of Swords. Yeah, very, I think there could be a very, like, desired connection here. A lot of desire. Queen and King of Wands, they have a lot of desire for each other. So this could be like a person that you have a lot of attraction for, and vice versa as well, which would be good. Four of Wands, of course, is marriage. And if you want love, definitely could be marriage. Now, the other thing I'm getting here is commitment. So a lot of you could just be committing to something in life, and I feel like the more committed you are, the more likely it is to be successful. So like if you're committing to a project, or if you're committing to seeing something through to the end, we have all this energy in Aries, Scorpio, and so yeah, Neptune and Saturn are retrograding out of Aries, but at the same time, doesn't matter. They've already entered into Aries. So I think the trick with Saturn and Neptune and Aries for everyone, the collective, is to pick something and finish it. A goal, a wish, a dream, and just agree that you're going to see it through to the end no matter what. And if you commit to that, then guess what? You'll make it happen. I've said this to other people, and they've said, yeah, but what if I can't accomplish a dream? I'm like, well, number one, you can't even have that thought in your head, number one. That's always a possibility. But number two, it's like when there is no other way then for you to accomplish it, when you develop that level of commitment, then you will accomplish it, right? And then they'll always say, yeah, but what if I can't? And I always say to those people, don't even try, because you're not going to do it, obviously, right? And yes, I'm trying to piss those people off because I want to challenge them to actually go and do it and prove me wrong. Maybe that's what they need, right? And so it's like, yes, if you have that waiver, you're not going to make it happen. So you have to make it so that there is no other way. Plain and simple. You have the King of Wands. I think you're developing a lot of confidence at this time. I think that would be a good exercise for you during the retrograde, right? Like, I think retrogrades are great for personal development. And so, I think that working on confidence or you being courageous would be a good thing to work on. And, there's a million ways you can do this. You can meditate about it. I'm sure there are, confidence exercises on YouTube. I'm sure someone has a YouTube channel about it, right? You can take tiny little risks and then build up the bigger ones, right? But that's what's popping into my head with the King of Wands. That it would be a great time for Scorpio to like work on their courage and their confidence and believing in themselves. And I would do all that. But again, also definitely a very solid connection if you're looking for love. You have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is like taking risk. Five of Swords and the good stuff to me says it's time for you to put yourself out there in a bigger way and take risks. You have the Five of Swords with the Three of Pentacles. Five of Swords can represent walking away from something, but I really feel it's saying you have to take the risk of putting things out there into the world with that Three of Pentacles. You have to take the risk of being the star with the Star card, right? And that's what I would do, plain and simple. With the Four of Wands, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is about doing things in a different way. Literally, the time that we're in, Pluto and Aquarius, Uranus and Gemini. Really, if we listen and we have a goal in life or things that we want to accomplish, if we listen, we will probably come up with better ways of accomplishing those goals. Seven of Swords is a good card, but it's showing up in the good stuff here. But it's a golden card, and he's stealing those swords from that army in the background, so he's going to war, but in a different way. And it basically says you can accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, but maybe you just have to be open to doing it in different ways. The other funny thing is he has these polka dots on his cloak. Again, I think that right now with Jupiter and Cancer, if we approach things too seriously and not being playful and not having the most fun, it's just that those things are not going to work. If we approach things and say, I'm just going to see how this goes, I'm just going to have fun with life, I'm just going to be playful, especially for water signs, that's going to be very important. So that's what I would do there. With the King of Wands, you have the King of Swords. Almost all four kings showing up here. So all four kings would be the Emperor, right? So you almost have an Emperor on your hands, it looks like. Although, could be someone who's very close to, bossing up here. A person who really hasn't even peaked yet in life. So, that can be good here, Scorpio. Yep, with the Five of Swords, you have the Ten of Cups. I would definitely take the risk on love. Because, Ten of Cups is like fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family, good things coming in after a difficult period of time. So definitely could be a very solid connection coming in for you if you want it. So there you go. You have this coins card. It says money will be coming to you. Love it. Nine of Pentacles, right? I think the more you can surround yourself with success, the better. You know, I think this is an energetic thing, really, Scorpio. It seems to be for water signs like this month, or the rest of the month, you know, starting on the 24th. I know this is basically the last week of the month or whatever, but, you know, again, I think maybe, you know, this week, the more you can surround yourself with success, the better. You have this April card and this fair man. It says dealings or relationships with a man with blonde, gray, or white hair. You could be attracting a Taurus, you know, like born in April or something like that, or an earth sign. So, you know, it could be a fair person that looks kind of like that. Hopefully not. This card always creeps me out, the fair man card. It kind of looks like, if you've ever seen The Office, like Dwight, you know, it looks like Dwight when they do the drawing of him. So, I don't know, but whatever. You have this angel card. It says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Yes, you are protected at this time. I think people need to act as if they're protected right now. I think people are too afraid of taking risks. So, and again, we're not talking about taking crazy risks. We're talking about little calculated risks. You have this teapot. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. Yeah, I think Three of Pentacles, and also the card that says people want to help you. You know, it says reach out for support. There are clearly people who want to support you. So don't be afraid of asking for help. You have this August card in this box. It says you will receive a gift. There you go. It's like you are preparing yourself for a gift. You know, it could be this opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles that's coming in August as well. But this looks really good here, Scorpio. I like where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.